Hello, everyone. Welcome to ET Manufacturing Industry Dialogue Series, where we invite industry leaders and technocrats to deliberate and share their perspectives on the various facets of manufacturing landscape. So, our guest speaker today is Mr. Deepak Shetty, who is the chairman of CII Council on Manufacturing Excellence, and he's the CEO and managing director of JCB India. So, welcome, Mr. Shetty, to the ET Manufacturing Industry Dialogue Show.
Thank you very much. Wonderful to join you on this very important topic, which is of great interest to all of us.
So, Mr. Shetty, I would like to ask you, as the chairman of the CII Council on Manufacturing Excellence, what are the council's top priorities this year to enhance the quality and competitiveness in the Indian manufacturing sector?
No, first of all, I want to say that if you look at last 20, 25 years, 30 years, it is the services sector which has propelled the growth of our economy. One has to complement the services sector. And now I feel is the time for manufacturing sector also to stand up. And particularly, it is very heartening that today there is a congruence of whether it is at a government level, whether it is at an industry level, and also based on the geopolitical situations that India has to now become the supply chain partner for the world. That is the opportunity in front of India. And that's why I feel the Manufacturing Excellence Council will play a very important role, has to play a very important role. Now, when you look at the three priorities for Manufacturing Excellence Council, we engage with the government on one side, whether it is through the Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Heavy Industries, or with Niti Aayog, and we work on various policy-related issues. On the other side, we connect with our sectoral leadership. So manufacturing, sometimes people think that it is only this big machines, etc. But manufacturing goes a lot beyond that, whether it is in the leather industry, whether it is in the plastic industry, and most important part is connection with the MSME partners. Because we have seen that when manufacturing grew, in particularly if I take example of Germany, it is this whole manufacturing, I would say, focus at the MSME level and their enhancement in skills, their enhancement in their growth actually contributed to overall growth in the manufacturing side. So as a Manufacturing Excellence Council, we'll be looking at all the three sectors, connecting with the government or Niti Aayog or any of the government agencies to ensure that last few years some very good focus has been put on the manufacturing side. That focus continues. In fact, it was very heartening to also hear about recent announcement of National Manufacturing Mission. And part of this is also based on some of the inputs that we have given in the past to the Niti Aayog leadership. So one is that. Second is identifying the sectoral opportunities, and particularly now that all these FTAs are being signed, it creates a great opportunity for the Indian industry. So I think Manufacturing Excellence Council centrally has a role to connect with all these stakeholders. And last but not the least, help work and handhold our MSME sector, because I believe that our MSME partners have a huge role to play in the growth of manufacturing in India.
So, you mentioned about FTA. Recently, like yesterday only, we signed the FTA agreement with UK. And considering that, I believe there will be a quite substantial boost in the trade between the two countries. So, what do you think? What are your views on this?
No, I think first of all, I want to really welcome this FTA agreement between India and UK. The company I represent, I think is a great example of in British-India collaboration. JCB came to India thanks to our vision of our chairman, Lord Bamford, in 1979. And since then, the company has grown in India. And again, today I can say that we are very much closely connected with every business that we have globally. So all our factories, 11 factories in UK, get material from India, and we collaborate on machines, etc. So I would first of all say that JCB is a great example, and we at JCB really welcome this. Now, if I talk about from the Manufacturing Excellence Council point of view, few of our sectoral teams are, for example, leather and footwear. I feel this FTA will open a huge opportunity for our partners in our colleagues in the leather and footwear industry. Second huge opportunity will be on the textile side. That again is a very welcome development. The third, and where we also supply almost 60,000 tons of steel fabrications we have exported last year. We have exported machines. In fact, at JCB, we export to around 130 countries. Is again a great opportunity for Indian industry to take advantage, not only the auto component industry, but also the smaller machines, etc., which we can further leverage. So, and last but not the least is, I feel today, because of the products that we are manufacturing in India, the quality standards have dramatically improved. This FTA will also give an opportunity to our MSME partners to showcase their products in the British market. And we know that the countries around the world are looking at new supply chain partners. In the past, they used to be heavily dependent on one geography. So I'm sure under the FTA agreement, there will be various, I would say, forums which will be created through which our supply chain partners will be pitching. I know some brilliant work is being done by our DPIIT, the work which is being done by our government or quasi-government agencies like Invest India, which will again create opportunities for our MSME partners to leverage the FTA and further expand their customer base in UK. So overall, I think it's a great opportunity for both the Indian industry and also the UK industries.
Significant change in the manufacturing industry in both the countries. Right.
Yes.
Fine. You always spoke about embedding a culture of quality across the manufacturing value chain. So, what steps do you believe, especially the Indian manufacturers and MSMEs, must take to institutionalize quality at every level of the value chain?
I think it's a very good question you asked. And many times I think companies they try to look for quick wins. And in that, the cost comes into picture. But I feel that it is very important if we want to stand next to the global leaders in manufacturing. We have to ensure that quality is at the foundation of whatever we do. Unless we focus on giving quality solutions to our customers, quality products to our customers, we will be, I would say, undermining the manufacturing industry in India. Um, Quality today is given, and it is sometimes we feel that maybe the quality in the Indian market is different, export quality. I think those days have gone. I always tell our customers who visit our factories in India to help me find an export line in any of our JCB factory, because we don't have an export line, though we export to 130 countries. Because today, customer, whether it is in India or Cincinnati, deserves the same level of quality. So I think quality will be at the foundation. We have to ensure that in our pursuit of a lower cost, we should not compromise on the quality of the product that we are, because that is going to be a very short time or a very short term strategy. Our strategy should be around quality, and I think today step by step in the products manufactured in India are gaining a lot of acceptance around the world. There's a lot of respect, and we have seen that in a particular geography, we have seen how they have focused more on grabbing more and more market, and that does not reflect in the quality of products that they supply, and that creates a lot of frustration. So quality will have to be at the base of whatever we do. At the same time, I have seen that sometimes people tell me that it's a compromise between cost and quality. I actually disagree. It is never a compromise. When you manufacture a product quality with the right quality, when you manufacture it right first time, when you get that quality focus in your in the products that you manufacture, the cost automatically comes down. We have seen that, and that is the I think the vision should be, rather than being low cost center, we should be the quality value added sector. That should be the mantra that the manufacturing industry should adopt.
That's very well put as quality value added center. Because I have also seen in many conferences, in many discussions, we always talk about adopting advanced technology, adopting the new employee skills, and also about the collaboration and partnership. But quality somehow gets the backseat in many places. So that's well observed by you. So when we are talking about the advanced technology, that digital transformation in manufacturing is now the talk of the town. It's at the heart of the modern manufacturing. So how is CII helping companies, maybe it's a big company or a small company, to adopt the Industry 4.0 or similar technologies in a very scalable and sustainable way?
It's again a very good question. I feel in today's day and age, if we really want to leapfrog on the technology side in manufacturing to be globally competitive, we have to adopt Industry 4.0. We have to adopt automation. We have to adopt digital. There is no second sort of path, and this will actually help us scale up faster. But also, we earlier talked about quality. If you adopt digital, then whatever quality parameters that we are talking about can be delivered. The consistency in delivery of that quality can be assured. Um, so if I come to CII, last few years at the CII Manufacturing Excellence Council, we have conducted I would say, various conferences, seminars, where we have shared through the industry leaders the good practices that we have been adopting, the opportunity for our MSME partners to communicate with some of the leaders from the larger. So we have been creating those forums. On the second side, what we have done is we have created an opportunity for our partners in the industry to also go on factory visits, industrial trips, to see how these large companies are adopting technology. I know that our partners, for example, both Rockwell Automation and Siemens, have conducted very structured program through the CI Manufacturing Excellence Council to literally handhold of some of the partners. In fact, I participated in a industry conference organized by Rockwell early this year, and it was very heartening to see. In fact, when that conference started, there was not a single chair empty in the huge auditorium. So I started by complimenting. I said, finally, manufacturing is becoming cool because the younger generation is seeing. And again, if you want to attract the younger talent, you have to look at from the digital point of view. So in those seminars, we are focusing on how we get more and more younger engineers to come and join and participate and experience, and then go back to their companies and implement. The last point is that even today, it's important for us to keep an eye on what's happening globally. And CI Manufacturing Council has been organizing visits of leaders from the Indian industry to countries like Germany, to Japan, Singapore, etc. Because it's very important that we keep an eye on the technology shifts which are taking place, the new developments which are taking place around the world. So all of this, I'm sure, is helping our partners to get more and more exposure on the latest trends on the digital side, particularly adoption of digital technology in manufacturing.
You mentioned about the Rockwell conference. It was organized by ET Manufacturing only. I was there. In fact, I just met you briefly. You were in a hurry about to leave, and then I met you there.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was
Right.
wonderful, and and I'm sure you also noticed it was so well attended, with so much of curiosity in the minds of the young participants.
True. Yeah, in fact, when I conducted a panel discussion there, so I could see the people were quite enthusiastic and were taking interest in asking questions to the panel. And because of the time constraint, we had to actually stop the questions and take it offline. But it is great to have, great to see such kind of enthusiasm in the manufacturing industry. So, when it comes to digital transformation or any of the advanced technologies, the skill gaps remain a very significant challenge, whether it's the big corporate or even MSME. And it's all over the world, not just in India, because I have been interacting with manufacturing leaders in other countries as well. So, what kind of skill development initiatives is the council prioritizing to prepare the Indian workforce for the next gen manufacturing?
I think it's a very good question, and what we are again doing is, I'll just give an example that today, with the advancement in technology, earlier skill used to be connected to the years of experience. I feel today we have got a great opportunity of leveraging technology to move again people through the skill sets, to help them get the skill sets early rather than waiting for years together. I'll give a small example. We set up our latest facility in Vadodara, Gujarat. It's a hardcore manufacturing based facility, completely export oriented unit for manufacturing critical components. We took a call that we'll have 52% diversity on the shop floor there. So first of all, when we talk manufacturing, and later on, I would certainly want to talk little more. It has to be sustainable, but we also focus on diversity. Now, these are the young associates who are joining us from the ITIs, very difficult sometimes to how to train them so that they quickly start manufacturing critical items. We use latest VR AR technology to teach them how to weld. I can tell you, last 2 years we have exported more than 40,000 tons of steel fabrications. There are very few rejects. So the people who have joined us are able to gain the skills which probably comes after 10, 15 years of experience in the past, and they are able to give globally benchmarkable quality, but it may be at even better than the Six Sigma kind of quality. So today that opportunity is there, and that is what the council is engaging with our partners, showcasing to them how these technologies can be used. You like when we are talking about Rockwell, that particular conference. I think a lot of that was connected with showcasing to people what is available. The second point I want to mention, the use of IoT. The use of IoT, particularly in a large country like India, is very important. I will give again two examples. One is every machine, every construction equipment machine that we ship out is connected with us. Today, on my mobile phone, I have access to 350,000 machines which are in hands of our customers. We can monitor those machines remotely. We can give, rather than being reactive in offering support to them, we can be proactive in offering support to them. And I openly, during my speech also, I was openly sharing this with our partners on how you can further go and connect with our customers. So sharing of good practices, case studies, that is what again at the CII forum we are doing. The last part is automation within the factory. Now again, we have got around 165 robots and machines within our four sites. Again, in my office on a screen, I can see what productivity is going on each of those machines. I can see the various parameters. And this is what we all need to sort of share with our partners so they can see what good is like. And that is what CI Manufacturing Excellence Council is doing. Because as I said earlier, if you want to scale up and if you want to grow on the manufacturing side, adoption of digital technology is absolutely given. And in the past, people used to think that only large companies can adopt. But today, if the smaller companies, particularly in the MSME sector, if they want to be more competitive, they will certainly would need to adopt these technologies.
So let's talk about your company, JCB. Under your leadership, JCB India has grown into a market leader in the construction equipment sector today. So how are you integrating innovation and sustainability into your operations to future-proof the business? And we also spoke earlier about your Pune facility and engineering center, which is like which has the manufacturing as well as the engineering sector. So, would you like to just highlight some of the developments in that?
First of all, I think you're giving me more credit than it is due. Actually, we have got a fantastic team at JCB, which has delivered the growth. I'm absolutely proud of it. And more importantly, this growth has been delivered through our commitment to innovation, through our commitment to sustainability, and through our commitment to customer centricity. And these three are at the foundation of whatever we do at JCB. I'll just give a small example. Year on year, when the emission norms changes, uh, the change is made to the engine. But at JCB, we have continuously given more value to our customer, so that the per hour cost of using the machine is lower in a new technology machine when it comes to the market. So that is the challenge we have given. I'll give an example. For in last 10 years, we have reduced the fuel consumption of our machines by 40%. Now we all hear the Honorable Transport Roads and Transport Minister talking about how this huge fuel bill that our country bears, and 80% of your fuel is imported. And you can imagine that how much of contribution through almost 5 lakh machines that JCB has in the market that we are contributing. So we have constantly focused on innovation. We have constantly focused on adding value to the customer through the various products. And maybe some of our products are very well known, but we have got 9 different product verticals through which we are introducing. In fact, the telehandler, we were the first to introduce in the market, the telehandler machine, which will be game changer in the construction industry, but also in the agriculture side as more mechanization takes place. 2 weeks back, we have launched a Agrimax machine, which is focused on the agriculture sector. This is a completely new machine, completely innovated by our teams, and which is now going to help the farmers as they move the agriculture product around. So JCB has constantly focused first on innovation. Second thing is, we always believe that no matter what we do, whether it is in our factory or whether it is with our customers, it has to be done in a sustainable way. Now, sustainability does not mean only from the pollution, etc. point of view, but the health, the safety, the ergonomics. So with every machine, we have ensured that we go give more value not only to the customer, but even to the people who operate our machines. And last but not the least is the customer centricity. I'm very proud that we have got almost 6,500 engineers with our dealers spread across the country. Our outlets, we have 718 outlets, literally one in every district of the country. So we go to the remotest part, the rural part of India, and connect with our customer and ensure that once they have bought the customer has bought the machine, they are part of the JCB family. We ensure that they get world-class support, whether it is by the way of training, whether it is by the way of service, to ensure that they can extract the maximum from our product. And this has been actually at the base of whatever we have been doing in India. And whatever results that you are talking about is actually as a consequence of this focus that our teams have with and how they connect with our customers.
That's really commendable that you and your team are have with the huge network which you have among the remotest part of the India. So that's and reaching out to the customer and through dealers, uh, along with the technology and innovation which your products and your processes have. That's really great. So, what are your views on improving infrastructure and logistics to boost the manufacturing competitiveness and how can India build more resilient supply chains, especially in a post-COVID, as well as the geopolitically dynamic world amidst the tariff war?
I feel it's very important, and for the manufacturing industry also to grow in India, the focus, and it's very heartening to see how the infrastructure focus has helped. For example, today we are talking about the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, where if a component has to be sent from Delhi to our plant in Pune, it used to take what 35, 40 hours. Now we are talking about it being shipped in 12 hours time. So the development and focus on infrastructure, first of all, has reduced the cycle time required to move components across the country. So that is certainly very, very heartening. But there is one challenge. The challenge is cost of logistics in our country. And that is where I feel that while the government is focused on it, the dedicated freight corridors, the new highways which are coming through will certainly help in and to be competitive in against our competitors in the global market, where the logistics cost is 8% versus our cost, which is at double digit or 6%. We have double digit cost. Straight away gives you 3-4% of the competitive, or it takes away the disadvantage that we have. So logistics again plays a very, very important role. I'm very happy that we are helping build this wonderful infrastructure, new infrastructure which is being built across the country, and we in turn get benefit. I'll give you a small example. When the uh, Delhi-Mumbai corridor freight corridor and also the expressway was being discussed, I was feeling very happy because the expressway starts very close to the Vallabhgarh factory that we have. It connects through our Jaipur facility. Our latest facility is in Vadodara and at the other facility in Pune. So all the facilities are lined up and we are seeing the benefit of it. Please appreciate that from across our factories, we are exporting to 130 countries around the world. Every day, there are hundreds of containers that we move across the facility, whether it is by the way of bringing material in or exporting our products out. And whatever improvement that we are seeing is certainly going to help. And I'm sure more improvements are on the way. Particularly, very heartening to see this whole new initiative about the new big ports which are coming up. Because even today, when we export, the transshipment takes place through Colombo or through Dubai. And now with these two big ports, one near Mumbai, north of Mumbai, which is coming up, the other one which was inaugurated near Trivandrum, all of this will help us be more competitive globally. At the same time, move products very quickly around the country.
With all these infrastructure developments, which are taken by the government on a very with a very serious efforts, but on the other side, the government envisions raising the manufacturing share of GDP to 25% in next few years. So, what structural changes or reforms do you believe are essential to achieve this target?
I think the government last few years have focused a lot on ease of doing business. But I would be very honest with you that I think some more activities have to be done. And that is one thing that we are constantly doing with our various sectoral related case studies or various reports that the CII Manufacturing Excellence Council creates. We try to get the attention of the powers, of people in the government or in Niti Aayog and others to focus on some of these sectors because ease of doing business can still be improved, and that is certainly one of, and particularly last 10 years, 15 years, we have seen almost more than $500 billion worth of FDI has come. Now, if you want to scale this up, we'll have to be more easy to do business with. That is first. The second, which we already discussed, is improving the logistics, whether by the way of better infrastructure at port. Also, very heartening is to see the new airports which are coming up, which will again benefit us. The third is further developing the skill sets and the capability of the MSME sectors. You mentioned about COVID, and I want to share an example. Uh, JCB, almost 80% of the components for our machines actually are localized in India. Last 40 years, we have worked very closely with our supply chain partners. We have held their hand, we have developed them. During COVID, when many of the factories closed down because their supply chains were very long, their supply chains were depending on the export of components or the, what was happening at Shanghai or for us, we were very comfortable because on our backhoe loader, actually, 96% of our components are manufactured in India. So it is very important that if you want to be a reliable partner to globally, you need to be in full control or need to be very, very comfortable about your supply chain. So this is very important that we localize as much as possible, keep our supply chains smaller, shorter, so that in times of any, and it's not only COVID. For example, 2 years back, we started seeing these problems in Red Sea. You know, it was again very difficult. So if you are heavily dependent on suppliers in Europe or elsewhere to supply components to your facilities in India, you will not be able to get those components on time. Suddenly, the cost went up double by 100%, and the duration went up by a couple of weeks. So it is very important that we develop, and that is where I feel that the PLI schemes, the various focus that the government has put recently in working with the industry, supporting the industry is again very important because this will encourage more and more companies around the world to invest in their facilities in India, which in turn will help the OEMs or the equipment manufacturers to take support of the local supply chain and then give solutions to customers around the world. So these are the three, four key sectors. I feel we still need to do some more. We are already doing, but we need to probably accelerate it because only if we accelerate this, we will be able to take advantage of these brilliant FTAs which are being signed, whether it is earlier we signed with UAE, with Australia, and the recent one with UK, again, creates a great opportunity for the auto sector, leather sector, textile sector. I can go on and on. And all of them are sectoral partners of the CI Manufacturing Excellence Council.
You mentioned about localization, and currently many countries, in fact, are considering the localization very seriously, including India. But do you think there is a lot more needs to be done to be successful in the localization efforts? So, what those things do you think on priority the Indian industry should take into account? Forget about the support which the government is giving. Government is doing its job in with the help of the PLI scheme, the Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India. But from the industry side, do you think there are certain areas which the industry should actively participate and take it seriously?
I think industry should understand that nothing comes on a platter. If you want to have local supply chain, you will have to engage very closely with our local supply chain partners. You can't just expect that they produce a component and it will come right first time. So how do you engage with them? First of all, how do you motivate them to invest in the right technology? How do you engage with them to understand the product that you want? And during the time when they manufacture, how do you handhold? I think this is very important. And sometimes I feel that industries don't have patience. So we'll have to create patience to connect with our supply chain partners. And the results will not come overnight. The results will come over a period of time, but one needs to have the patience to go through. The second is opening up your technologies. So our supply chain partners get an advantage that they can visit our factories, they can learn and they can see what we are doing on the digital technology side, and we work very closely with them. And third is also not only training. Sometimes when we talk about training, we think it is only about welding or any machining or any of those skills. It's very important that we look at the soft skill aspect also. How are their leaders being trained? How are their HR practices? You know, what is their focus on sustainability? In the past, people used to think that, oh, we can be very competitive if you don't look after pollution or all these norms. You can, you can ignore those. But today, those norms are very strict. And if your supply chain partner is not following the norm, tomorrow the factory can be shut down, and all your efforts of developing that supply chain partner goes into waste. So one has to be constantly connected with the supply chain partner, do the hand holding and help them grow. And we have actually reaped the benefit of that particular effort. And we have seen today, I can tell you, we have got 23 factories around the world, and each of those factories every day would be receiving some component from the supply chain partners developed in India by JCB India. So whether it is even our Chinese factory gets components supplied by our partners from India. So we are actually, in a sense, reversing the trend. And similarly to our facility in Brazil, in UK, in USA, we supply components directly our supply chain partners. But they have come to this particular level because we worked very closely with them. So I think it's a responsibility of the leaders in the OEM side to first of all set some targets for their own team, because many times it will come that, oh, we can buy this component 5%, 10% cheap from that particular geography or that particular location. But then you have to have a long-term vision on how you are going to grow and how important it is for you to have your supply chain partners close to you and then work on that particular path.
Just the last question now. What is your vision for the Indian manufacturing in the next 5 to 10 years, and what role will the industry bodies like CII play in shaping that future?
We are on a growth trajectory from the manufacturing side, you know, and today there is no sector where the manufacturing industry in India is not contributing. On one side, we are seeing this whole focus through PLI on the semiconductor industry, really cutting edge technology, the chip development, chip technology. If you go one step below, we have seen this whole growth in the iPhone and all the mobile phone manufacturing. India has leapfrogged from maybe 10th or 11th number to number 2 in the world. And it's very heartening to see how we are getting into more and more areas, the new frontiers of technology. Having said that, today, companies like JCB, we are exporting to 130 countries around the world. In the past, when we used to talk about export from India, we used to look at Latin America or Africa or South Asian countries. I can tell you last year, our largest exports were to USA, more than 10,000 machines. And it's not only JCB, I'm sure there are other companies also doing the same. But I feel that time has come for the companies to not look at our nearby markets, but look at the global markets to create the global world-class products and compete in the biggest markets. I think that is the opportunity, and we will see more and more examples of that in the next 5 years, 10 years. And I'm very clear that with the support and the focus that the government has, and also the organizations like Niti Aayog, particularly with the National Manufacturing Mission, I think next 10 years are going to be fantastic for the manufacturing industry in India. And it is not only about the huge Indian market that we need to cater to, but I feel that opportunity is for us to cater to the global market. And we need to create new products, innovative products, and look at the global market and that's the opportunity in front of the Indian manufacturing industry. And I will go back to where I started. I feel last few years, the service sector has kept the Indian flag flying very high. I feel now the manufacturing sector has to come forward. And it's very heartening to see to have a goal of 25% contribution to the GDP. As our GDP grows and we become 5 trillion economy, or we become the third largest economy in the world, it can't be done just by the services sector. The manufacturing sector also has to contribute to it.
Right. As you rightly said, India is on the right path towards making it in the global manufacturing landscape. and also the probably the fourth and then third largest economy in the world. And I'm sure along with the service sector, manufacturing will also have its own significant contribution in this target. So thanks for joining our show, and it was really pleasure interacting with you. We touched upon many aspects of the manufacturing industry, which probably I also got to learn many things from you. So thanks again, and I again look forward to interact with you maybe in person sometime later.
I really look forward, and thank you very much for your questions. I know you're well researched, and it also gives an opportunity to share. And learning is always both ways. So I learned a lot thanks to your questions.